Okay, everybody, welcome to our 6th lesson in Chapter 2. We are almost done with Chapter 2. After this lesson, we only have one more, and that's everybody's favorite, word problems. So, as a lead into working with word problems, we're going to practice solving linear equations verbally. You guys should remember doing this in Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, they were just expressions. The only difference here is that now we're talking about equations. So we're going to have something new thrown into these, and that would be what is equal. What words will go with equals? So we're just going to start off by filling in this table in the top, some of the words that we already remember for all of these operations. Here I have thrown in exponents, and then, like I said, we've got equals. So let's take a second before we start looking at some examples. Oh, and by the way, only one page of notes for this lesson, so you should be pretty happy about that. So let's take a couple minutes to recall some of the words that we'd use for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponents, yada yada. Okay. Then that brings us to equals. So what word or words should we be looking for that mean equals? The word is implies that those two things you're talking about are equal. Something else that you might see in some of these examples is the same as. Okay, that phrase also means equals. Okay, so when you see these two things, that should tell you to put an equal sign there. All right. Let's look at some examples. All right. So I've highlighted, well, kind of circled, some of the ones I'm going to do with you. And usually I always start with the first example, but I think you guys could handle this one. It's a pretty easy one. The first half of this is going to look just like some of the ones we did in Chapter 1. But then when you get to this word right here, is, you're going to put an equal sign and then 83. Okay, so there's a little hint, but I want you to try that one on your own. Let's go to 76. The number x divided by the number y is the same as, oh hey, look, there's that phrase, 6 less than 3 times the difference of x and y. Oh, okay, there's a lot going on there. So I'm going to, if I can figure out where I put it, take my highlighter, is the same as, okay, so that means I'm going to have an equal sign between this information and this information. I just need to figure out my two sides, okay? So I'm going to start off with my equal sign. Okay? Before my equal sign, so that's going to be everything over here on the right side, I have the number x divided by the number y. Okay, so we don't know what those numbers are. They give us variables. So we have x divided by y. You can write it as a fraction, or if you want to put them side by side with a division sign in between them, that works too. All right? Then after the equals, after the stuff highlighted, we have 6 less than 3 times the difference of x and y. Oh, goodness, we have a lot of stuff going on there. Well, here's that word less than, 6 less than. That tells me that whatever comes next, 6 has to go after it. Remember, you flip those two things. So underline less than, and remember in your mind that you need to do this first and then subtract 6 from whatever this stuff is, okay? So let's read on. 3 times the difference of x and y. Okay, so we have 3 times x minus y. So that should tell you that you're going to have parentheses. Do you see how 3 times the difference of these two numbers? There's that word of, meaning that you're going to multiply 3 times whatever x minus y is. So we need to use our distribution. We have to have parentheses here. So 3 times x minus y. And that is 3 times the difference of x and y, the subtraction of x and y. Now let's go back. Let's not forget this last step that we underlined, 6 less than all of this. So minus 6. Whew, that one's done. So my best piece of advice to give you when doing these is to slow down and take your time. You need to literally read each part and take it one step at a time. Slow down. Read it carefully. All right, 3 times the sum of a and b is equal to, oh hey, the word equal is right in there, so is equal to Maybe that's one you can stick up in your table here. Is equal to. All right, that's another phrase to look for. So is equal to 5 times c. So I've got is equal to, I'm going to write my equal sign, and I know that everything else, this part's going to go on the left side, this part's going to go on the right side. So on the left, we have 3 times the sum of a and b. So this is going to kind of be like what was going on in 76. We have 3 times the sum of these two numbers. So we need those two numbers, those two variables, inside parentheses, multiplied by 3 on the outside. 3 times the sum of a plus b, sum means plus, okay? Okay, is equal to, there's our equal sign. On the right side, 5 times c, that'll just be 5c, okay? 78 and 79 you're gonna try on your own. 80, the difference of 5 times the cube of x and 2 times the square of 18 is, I'm sorry, the square of x, is 18. There's is, so there's where you're going to put your equal sign. So all of our, pretty much all of our sentences are going to, or all of our words are going to be on the left side of this equal sign. So all this junk is equal to 18. Well, most of our fun stuff is going to be over here on the left. So we have the difference of, so we're subtracting 2 things here. 5 times the cube of x. So 5 times x cubed. Okay? So we're talking about the difference. So the difference of this and this other thing. So now we can put our equal sign, or our subtraction sign. And 2 times the square of x. So we're going to have 2 times x squared is 18. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. It's a lot of words. Like I told you, just slow down and read it one step at a time. All right. Let's go over here to 82. Let's now try to write them verbally ourselves. Once again, I'm skipping the first one. I think you guys can handle that. 82, 3y, oh, some of these division and plus signs are hard to decipher between. So I'm going to say that this is addition. Okay, follow along with me here real quick so that I can give you the right information. I'm going to say that this is also addition. This is x plus 6. Let's say in 84 that this is plus, and then in 85, this is going to be 3c plus, but inside of your parentheses, that should be division. Okay. And some of these are even hard for me to decipher, so I'm just kind of picking one, to be honest with you. And then in 86, I'm going to say that that's also division. All right. So hopefully that'll help you. Let's go back up to 82. 3y plus 8 equals 32. The product of 3 and y plus 8 is 32. Okay, the word is means equal. So the product of 3 and y plus 8 is 32. Works for me. Let's go down to 84. We've got 2 more. This video is almost done. 84. We have our equal sign right here, so we need to find out some words to explain this. So we can say these 2 things are being added. So let's say the sum of m cubed and 24. M cubed let's use something other than is. Let's say is the same as now we've got 47 minus n. I'm going to use my than words. I'm going to say n less than 47. Whew, all right. Totally didn't realize that that was cut off the whole time. I do apologize. So let's see if this works. We have the sum of m cubed and 24, so m cubed plus 24, is the same as equals n less than 74. Remember, less than means that these two things should be flipped then, so what it should say is 47 minus n, and it does. So that was correct. I did a good job. 86. Of course you knew that I wouldn't leave you with fractions to do on your own. I'm going to make this our last example. So we have some division going on here, and then right here we have multiplication also. We have multiplication on the right side also. So let's use our words. With these fractions, you can say 2/3 or 3/5. That's fine. Okay. So let's say the product of 2/3 and d. I'm sorry, I can't write apparently. Product of 2/3 and d divided by, for the division here, divided by 3/5 is equal to the product of 2 and d. Oh my goodness, this one was long. Okay, so let's reread it, make sure it all sounds correct. The product of 2/3 and d. So we're going to have 2/3 times d. Yes, that's correct here. Divided by 3/5. 3/5. Now we have our equal sign, so is equal to, yes, the product of 2 and d, so 2 times d. All right, that works. Okay, so the other examples that I have left for you, so 75, 78, 79, 81, 83, 85, I want you to try those on your own.